Hi friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss what is a table, how to create the table in HTML, how to create the various rows in the table, table headings, all these concepts I will discuss in detail for you. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me define what is a table. Table is a collection of rows and columns. Now, let me create one table in MS Word. Now, you know a table can be created like this. Now, let's consider that the table have the student roll number, the student name and the marks. And a roll number is 1 and the name is Jagadish and marks he got 96. And there is another roll number 2. His name is Rajesh. He got 98 marks. And then roll number 3 is there. His name is Ravi and he got 99 marks. Now you can see here there are 4 rows are there, 3 columns are there. What are the 4 rows? Roll number, name, marks is one row. 1 Jagadish 96 another row, 2 Rajesh 98 is another row, 3 Ravi 99 that is another row. So I can say there are 4 rows are there. How many columns are there? Roll number is one column having the values as 1, 2, 3. Name is another column having Jagadish, Rajesh, Ravi. Marks is another column having the values 96, 98, 99. So I can say a table is a collection of rows and columns. The HTML allows users to arrange data like text. Now you can see in this table we have the text. So HTML allows user to arrange text, images, links, other tables, etc. into rows and columns of the cell. Here the table is having the text only, but in place of one I can have the image, or I can have the link, or I can have the another table also. All these things we can add in the row and column of the table cells. To create the tables in HTML, we use the tag called table tag. So the table tag is useful for you to create the table. Now in HTML, we have the table headings and the table data. What is the table heading here? Here the roll number, name, marks are the table heading. For this table headings only we are providing the table data. So here each row will call it as a one table row. So in this table you need to have 4 rows. One is this one and another one is this one and the next one is 2 Rajesh 98, 3 Ravi 99. So I can consider each one as a one row, and then you have the table headings. So you have the table row. Now roll number, name, marks is a table row. In that one you have this heading, and then each row will have the table data. So this entire one will consider as a table. Inside the table we have the 4 rows, and one of the row you have the table heading. In the other 3 rows you have the table data. So this one Jagadish, all this one will call it as a table data. Roll number, name, marks will call it as a table heading. If I want to create a row, then I need to use the tr tag. If I want to create the table headings, I need to use the tag called th. If I want to create the table data, then I need to use the td tag. The tr tag is used to create the table rows. Similarly, the th tag is used to create the table headings. The td tag is useful to create the table data. So these 4 tags are very important in HTML whenever you want to create a table. So one tag is table. It is useful for you to create the table. Inside the table you will have multiple rows. If you want to create each row, you need to use the tr tag, and each table will have one heading. To create that heading, we need to use the th tag, and each table will have various data. All these data, if you want to create, you need to use the td tag. Now let me discuss this one with a simple example. I will go to the HTML programs and I will create the new text document, and I will keep the name as table, and I will provide the extension as HTML. And let me save this one, and it is asking me, are you sure you want to change it? Yes, I want to change the format. Then let me right click on this one, open with Notepad++. And then I will write doc type HTML, and then I will have the HTML tag, open tag and close tag. Inside the HTML tag, I will have the head tag and body tag. First, let me create the head tag. Inside the head tag, I will have the title tag, which provides the title of the web page. I will say tables in HTML, and let me close the title tag. And whatever the content you want to display, that content you will write inside the body tag. Now I need to create a table, so I will write table opening tag, and I will provide the closing tag of the table. And then inside the table tag, I need to create the table row. So I will write tr, and let me close the tr. Now whatever you are writing inside the opening tag of tr and closing tag of tr, that will be one row. If you want to create 3 rows, then you need to have 3 pairs of tr open tag and tr close tag. Now let me create one row here. In that row, I want to have the table headings. The table heading, I want to have the roll number. So I need to use the th opening tag and th close tag. Similarly, I want to have another heading called name, and then let me close the th. Similarly, I want to have the marks. So now I have created one row which is having the heading. Similarly, I want to have the another row which have the data. So let me copy this one and paste it here. In place of th, I want to have the table data. The roll number is 1. Let me close the td tag, and then let me open the td tag, and let me provide the name as Jagadish, and let me close the td tag. So td tag is useful for you to provide the table data, and Jagadish got some 96 marks. Let me close it, and I want to add one more row. So let me copy this one and paste it here, and here I will give the roll number as 2 and name is Rajesh, and instead of 96 I will write 97. I will create one more row in the table, so I will copy this one and paste it, and roll number I will write as 3, name I will write it as Ravi, and then marks I will write as 98. Let me save this one and let me execute this program. So what I will do, I will go to the table.html, right click on this one, open with Microsoft Edge. Now you can see we have one table. Now the table size is very small, am I right? But however, you can observe there are 4 rows are there, and the first row having the table headings, and the second row, third row, fourth row have the table data. So the table row have been created using the tr tag, the table heading have been created using the th tag, table data have been created using the td tag. The table should have the border, right? So we can create the borders using the border attribute. Let me do this one. So let me open this one, and in the table you can use one attribute called border, and you can write some value, how much thickness you want to have for this border. I want the border thickness as 1. Let me keep this one, save it, and let me run the program again. Right click on this one, open with Microsoft Edge. So I am executing this one on the web browser called Microsoft Edge. Let me click this one. Now you can see we have the border here. And if I want to increase the size of the table, now the table size is small, am I right? So if I want to increase the table size, then I can provide the width and height attributes. So the width attribute is useful for you to provide the width of the table, and then you have the height attribute which is useful for you to provide the height of the table. So these two attributes is useful for you to provide the width and height of the table. The spelling should be proper. Let me save this one and let me execute it. Table.html, open with Microsoft Edge. Now you can see the table size have been increased. The three attributes are, one is the border, and second one is the width, and third one is height. So the border attribute provides the border to the table. If you want to provide the width and height of the table, then you can use the width and height attribute. So it specifies the width of the table, and height attribute specifies the height of the table. We have several attributes. All these attributes we will discuss one by one. Now you can observe one important point. The table headings are center aligned, whereas table data by default it is left aligned. Am I right? You can see roll number, a name, marks are in between of the cell. This entire part, okay, from here to here, whatever the part is there, I can consider as a one cell. So here 1, 2, 3 cells are there. Similarly 1, 2, 3. So this table have the 12 cells are there. In each cell you have some data. Now this one I want to have the alignment. That alignment I want to make it as a center alignment. That I can do like this. For the table data I want to have the alignment. So I can use a attribute called align, and I can make the value as center. Now let me save this one. Let me refresh here. Now you can see the one data has been center aligned. Similarly, if you want to make the Jagadish as right aligned, then we can see TD align is the attribute. I want to make it as right. Let me save this one and let me refresh this one. Now you can observe Jagadish has been right aligned. Like that you can align the data and also the headings. The headings by default it is center aligned. So we have discussed another attribute is align. The align specifies the alignment of the data. Either it can be a center, left or right. But this attribute belongs to the TD, whereas the border, width, height belongs to the table tag. Now I want to discuss two more attributes, which is cell spacing and cell padding. What is the meaning of cell spacing is, it defines the space between two table cells. Now you can see, as I said earlier, this entire part is one cell, this entire part is another cell. Between these two cells there is no space. If I want to provide some space, then I can use an attribute called cell spacing. Similarly, the cell padding represents the distance between the cell borders and the content in the cell. Now you can see the cell border is here, the cell content is here. There is no space between them. However, I can align by using the align attribute. But if I want to provide the space between the data and the cell border, that I can do using an attribute called cell padding. Now let me discuss in detail about the cell spacing. It defines the space between the table cells. So if you want to provide space between the two cells inside a table, then you can use an attribute called cell spacing. Similarly, if you want to provide the distance between the cell borders and cell content, then you can use an attribute called cell padding. Now we will practically discuss this one. So this cell spacing and cell padding are the attributes of the table tag. Let me provide cell spacing is equal to, let me provide some value, and then let me use the cell padding and let me provide the value as some 2. And let me remove this alignment center and right, and now you can observe the modifications in the structure of the table. Let me save this one. Let me remove the space here. Let me save it. And let me refresh this one to see the output. Now you can observe there is a space between the two cells with the help of the attribute called cell spacing, and between the border and also the content there is some space that has been provided using the cell padding, but the space between the two cells and the space between the cell border and content is not clearly visible here because we have provided the values as 2 and 2 respectively. Let me provide the values as 20 and 20. No need to provide the same values, you can provide the different values also. Let me provide 20 and 10. Let me save this one and refresh this one. Now you can see there is a space between the two cells, and also there is a space between the table border and also the table content. Okay, I hope you have understood the purpose of the cell spacing attribute and cell padding attribute. These attributes belongs to the table tag. Now let me discuss two more important attributes in the table data, which is call span and row span. The call span attribute is useful for you to span a single column into two columns. And similarly, a row span attribute is useful for you to span one row into multiple rows. Now look at here, one is there in this row. Now you want to make it into span of two rows. It should come in two rows, means in two row space the value 1 should come. But however 2 you want. Let's see what we can do. Here TD, I will make it as row span and I will provide the value as 2. Now meaning is that this 1 should come in 2 rows, and if I remove this table data 2, then see what will happen. Without removing this one, what will happen also we will discuss. Let me refresh this one. Now you can see the roll number 1 have been spanned into 2 rows. For the Jagadish Rajesh, the roll number is 1. Am I right? So that is the meaning of row span having the value 2. If you provide value 3, then it will be spanned into 3 rows. Let's consider that if I provide the data table data 2, then how it will looks. Let me save this one and refresh it. Now you can observe that the 1 have been spanned into 2 rows, but the table data is still there. Meaning is that for the second row, the table data having the 2 Rajesh 97. That's why this table is looking little bit odd. If you does not want that one, then you can remove this one and let me save it and let me refresh it. Now you can see the table is looking perfectly. Similarly, we can span a single row into multiple columns. That how can we do is that in place of row span, I will use the call span and I will provide the value as 2, and then I will remove this TD Jagadish and we will see what it will happen. Let me save this one and refresh it. Now you can see the 1 has been spanned into 2 columns. I hope you can observe the change here. So call span and row span is useful for you to span the rows and columns. Call span attribute is useful for you to span a single data into multiple columns. Similarly, row span is useful for you to span a single data into multiple rows. These two attributes we will use it in the tag called TD. The TD tag is useful for you to provide the table data. So if you want to spam multiple rows and multiple columns, then you can use these attributes. Now any table and a figure will have a caption. The caption is useful for you to provide the explanation of the table. Suppose for this table I want to provide a caption as students information. Then meaning is that this table represents the students information such as roll number, name, marks. So the caption tag is useful for you to provide the title of the table. How can we use the tag? We have a tag called caption tag, which is useful for you to provide the caption. I will write the caption open tag and I will provide the information, the title as students information, and let me close the caption tag. Between the caption open tag and caption close tag, whatever the information you have written, that will be the title of the table. Now let me remove all these things, row span and column span, and let me add the table data as Jagadish, and let me close the table tag. And here also let me provide the TD and the roll number as 2, and let me close the TD. Now let me save this one and go to the Microsoft Edge, refresh it. Now you can see there is a caption for this table. What is that caption? Student information. And this caption is useful for you to provide the explanation for the table. Now let me discuss in detail about the table header, body and footer. Tables can be divided into three portions. One is the header and the body, and the third one is footer. The top one we will say as a table header, in between we will have the table body, at the bottom we can have the table footer. So if you want to split a table into header, body and footer, then we can use the tags called thead. Tag is useful for you to create a separate table header. If you want to create a separate table body, then you can use the tag called tbody. If you want to have the separate footer for the table, then you can use the tag called tfooter. The thead tag is useful to create a separate table header. Similarly, if you want to have a separate table body, then you can use a tag called tbody. It is useful to create separate table data or table body. In the table body, you can have the table content, whatever the content you want to have, that content you can provide. Similarly, we have the tfoot tag. It is useful to create separate table footer. In the table footer, whatever the information you want to provide about the table, that information you can provide. Now, practically we will discuss about these three tags called thead, tbody and tfooter. Now let me remove all this one and let me split the table into three portion table head. I will provide the open tag of the thead and close tag of the thead. Similarly, I will provide the tbody open tag and tbody close tag, and similarly I will provide the tfoot open tag and tfoot close tag. So these three tags are useful for you to split the table into three portions. Now the table head, I want to have one row. So if I want to have one row, then I need to use the tr open tag and tr close tag. Inside that one, I want to provide the table heading. So let me provide the th and I will write roll number, and then let me close the th, and similarly I will write the th and I will write the name and let me close the th. Similarly, I will open the th and I will write the marks and close it as th. Similarly, in the table body, I want to have the three rows. Let me provide tr open and tr close. Let me provide the table body. So in the table body, let me provide the data inside the row. So table data I will write using the td tag opening and closing, and similarly I will open the td tag and I will write the Jagadish, then let me close the td close tag, and let me copy this one and paste it here. I will write the marks as 97, and let me have one more row. Let me copy this one and paste it, and in place of 1 I will write 2. In place of Jagadish I will write Ravi, and in place of marks 97 I will write it as 98, and in the table footer I will write the table data as it is the footer of the table. Let me write this one and let me close the td tab. Let me save this one and let me execute it. Open the Microsoft Edge and refresh it. Now you can see there is a table row here, consists of roll number, name, marks, and then you have the table body having 2 rows, and you have the table footer which is only having 1 column. If you want to spam into multiple columns, then you can use here column span. COL span, and you can make it as 3. Now you can see what will happen. Let me open the Microsoft Edge and refresh it. Now you can see you have the table footer. It says that it is the footer of the table. Similarly, if you want to have the table heading also like this, then you can do it. Let me copy this one and paste it. Here in place of this information I will paste this one. Okay, it is the header of the table. Let me save this one and let me refresh it. Now you can see it is the header of the table, and you have the body, and it is the footer of the table. So using these tags you can split a table into 3 portions such as header, body and footer. Now we will discuss how can we have one table in another table. That concept we'll call it as nested table. You can use one table inside another table. Inside this TD, I will create one more table here. Look at here what I will do. I will open the TD tag. In place of providing the value 1, I will create one more table here. So I will write table opening tag and table closing tag, and then inside the table opening tag I want to have the table row, right? So I will write tr open tag and tr close tag. Here I want to have one data like TD. I will provide as 1, and then I will close the TD tag, and then I will open the TD. Again I will provide 1, 2, and I will close it. Now you can see the changes. Let me refresh it. Earlier we have value 1, but now you can see 112 is there. Now if you want to provide the border, you can write here border is equal to some 2. Then see what will happen. Let me refresh it. Now you can see inside one table you have another table. Now you want multiple rows here. That also you can do. Let me copy this tr open tag and close tag and paste it. In place of here 1, let me provide it as jar and then cks. Okay, let me save this one and let me refresh it. Now you can see inside one cell, now you have another table having 2 rows. Now you want to increase the width and height. That also you can provide. Width is equal to, let me provide as 100. Height, let me provide it as some 200. Then see what will happen. Let me refresh it. Now you can see inside one table you have another table. Not only you can insert another table, you can insert images, you can insert the links, all these things you can do. I hope you have understood how to create a table, how to insert the data, how to split the table into 3 portions such as header, body and footer, how to have a table inside the another table. All these concepts I hope it is clear for you. If you still have any doubts related to these concepts, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.